I like this.
Yeah, man. But the thing I like about it is we're locked in.
New experiences.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to like. There's no interruptions.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna go through this. No one's gonna interrupt us. Like if we're at a pub.
Yeah. There'd be all that.
Yeah. Oh, have you got a smoke? Oh, yeah, I've got a smoke. And then you get interrupted.
Yeah.
But here's the weird thing about it is, like, you'd say that you get interrupted and you lose your train of thought. But on a podcast, it's quite easy to lose your train of thought, man.
Right, and just tangent.
Yeah, because you'll go on a tangent. You don't know where to go from there. You've got to come back.
Yeah.
Try to do the callback. That's what I like. I'm a big fan of the callback.
Yeah.
So as you're talking about something, bring back something up that we talked earlier.
It.
The callback's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. There's a bit of an art to it. And when I first started doing it, I didn't think about it that way. I thought it was just going to be like, well, it is a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a normal conversation.
No.
But it has all the hallmarks of being a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Right. So we're locked in. We're paying attention to each other.
But it's just got room to expand.
Yeah. But we're locked in. We're audio locked in. Like, you can get right in there and go, I'm right in. You can hear me like this, right?
You're right here.
I'm right there, right? But when we're talking in a pub, we've got the distance between us and that sound travels.
Yeah.
So it's a different experience on the senses, you know.
All the rhubarb.
Yeah.
Rhubarb.
Yeah, man. Not a lot of people know what rhubarb is.
Huh?
No, they don't. Yeah. What's rhubarb?
So when they used to do crowd noises for old films and stuff, people in the background would just get told to say rhubarb. And they'd be in the background just going rhubarb.
Yeah, but they don't have any sound that comes out of their mouth, though. They just mime it. Mime it? Or mimic? Lip sync?
That's it.
Lip syncing? Yeah, rhubarb.
Just do it silently.
Yeah. But then you can emphasise the rhubarb as well if you like. Yeah, I always watch the backgrounds of films when that happens.
Yeah.
The ones that really get me are the foreign, when there's supposed to be a foreign language in the background and they're rhubbarbing.
Right.
Because you see they're saying rhubarb sometimes.
Yeah.
You're like, it's supposed to be Russian.
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Oh, rhubarbski.
Yeah. So, man, I think we're ready to go.
Right.
Ready to go?
Yep. Let me have a little mouthful of this.
I didn't bring the water down. If we have a break, if you need to take a piss break, just go take a piss break.
Yep.
Yeah, we can stop. No problem. Yeah, man. Well, cheers. Thanks for being on the show before we get in.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
It's an honour to be here.
Ooh.
On the Pagey train, is that what we call this?
Yeah, man. It's the Pagey train.
Yeah.
It's the drinks card on the Pagey train. It's the Pagey train. It's the Pagey train of thought.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's Pagey train of thought. It's on rails.
I'll try not to be the caboose.
Oh man, I'm often the caboose. It does happen a lot. There's nothing wrong with being in the rear with the gear, so but sometimes other people are driving. Sometimes I'm luggage.
Yeah.
Luggage carriage as well.
I know I've got a lot of baggage to bring aboard.
Well, perfect. That's perfect.
We'll need a lot of porters. That's all I'm saying.
And welcome to the Pagey train. Today in the studio with me, Dylan, all-round champion, a really lovely dude. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It is wonderful to be here. I don't know. This is a great experience. I always love pushing the boundaries and having a new experience. I've never done a podcast, never done anything like this, but I've always loved the idea of doing it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get you. Yeah, well, that's fantastic, man. Because it's like we were saying before, it's a conversation. Yeah. It's an opportunity to pick each other's brains. But what I wanted to dive straight into is like you've worked in film before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Done some prop making and just love making costumes and things like that. Yeah. Love making guns.
Guns? What kind of guns do you make, man?
We recently did a Star Wars fan film, like self-funded, through a production company that I know, and they what we did, we made it's called A Blaster in the Right Hands. And
I know this movie.
Yeah. So it was filmed out at Picton, and it's a damn good film, if I do say myself. And I made the props for it, so we've got I
got one here. And I'll pull this one up. Oh, no, I lost my way. This one.
Yeah. So, that's actually from me when I used to be into the costuming stuff. So, I used to do a whole lot of Star Wars costuming.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's this other one? Was that one?
Oh, that's Dread.
That's
my favourite.
Yeah, well, what did you have to do with this?
So, I joined this group after the Dread film came out. There's a convention over in Atlanta called Dragon Con, which is like... like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
If everybody had their tits out.
What a description.
Mate, it is just the most insane convention I've ever been to. It's set over like 4 hotels that all interlink in the middle of Atlanta. And it's just people in cosplay, like with everything hanging out.
Yeah.
Just, it is mind-blowing. It's like walking into a Lenny Kravitz video. Just, insanity going on 24/7.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it for? Like someone featuring there as Dredd or?
No. So the Dread movie had come out, and I joined this group, and we all decided, we're making that armor, because he just looked badass. And I've been a Dread fan since I was a kid.
I've been a Dread fan since I was a kid as well, man. Like, because everyone was, if you're into comics, you had people that are into different comics, and I was right into, was it 2000 AD?
Oh, the best.
So violent.
Yeah.
So violent,
see,
man.
I wasn't into all the Marvel and all the other stuff because it just seemed like such an exhausting, and I wanted something a bit more visceral and like hard-edged, and that's how I like my life, and that's so that's how I wanted it to be in my comics. And when I found 2000 AD, and there was like Strontium Dog, and was it Nemesis, ABC Warriors, Nemesis with the Warlock. Oh, that was just insane shit.
Yeah, man.
When I was 8 years old, there was nothing else around that was like that.
No way. It was totally fringe. I suppose, I started watching, I think it was like in the mid-90s when they came out, so it was like Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. Which is like, same sort of ultra violence, done really well, but still really artistic. And I look back at it now, I go and watch that movie now, and I just find something new in it every time, and I feel different when I watch it. When I was younger, I used to watch it for the violence in it, but now I watch it for the artistry. Right. Like, it's just incredible.
And I love how there's like 4 different versions of the same movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Because they keep doing updated versions of just same stuff, new graphics, and everyone has its own place in your heart.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But definitely the sequel to that was Innocence. You ever see Innocence? No. Innocence was mad. It's about it goes even deeper. Goes into what the meaning of consciousness is. Yeah, because what the consciousness is in the machine.
That's all they explore, really, is what happens to your mortal soul.
Well, they talk about it in the sense of dolls. So, like a child has a doll as a representation of a human. Right. And then humans have made robots as a representation of human. Right. And they're talking about it in that relationship. And, it's just really good. Yeah. It's super good, man, because they hack it, because there's more hackers in it as well. Right. So this guy called Locus Solus.
There's a name, isn't it?
Yeah, Locus Solus, he's an arms dealer, and he's selling gynoids that have...
gynoids?
Yeah, they have children's souls in them that he's copied.
Jesus.
So he's taken children's souls and copied them into these gynoids that are sex-working robots.
Oh, my God.
It's full-on, dude. It's full-on. Like, it's full-on content. And that's like 2000, so... Yeah, man, I think Dredd was that kind of fringe as well. It's just... he's just a badass. Yeah. Just an absolute badass and so ultra violent.
It's weird because it's nowhere near my political... Because he's an absolute fascist, if you think about it. He's just utter fascism.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just loved it. I don't know what I loved about it, but... Yeah.
Oh, the graphics in it as well, like the artistry of 2000 AD, and from everything that came out of it. I always found it... And the other thing that I liked about it was British, right? Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of the content we got was American.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
And especially when it comes to violence, like violence comes out of American content. Yeah. But not like that. No. It was unrestricted. Yeah. Unadulterated, fucking entertainment,
Yeah. It was just done a different way. Even their like the comics like Viz that came out, all their comedy comics are just brilliant. Yeah, man. I was right into that. Definitely right into that. What's the other one that you did there? Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull this one up. This is So that's
that's Hellraiser, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Chatterer Cenobite. So we did those for the Zombie Walk. About that's going about 10, 12 years now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we came second. Damn it.
Yeah. Who beat that?
The guy that beat us was actually really good. Yeah. Okay. He's a guy called was it Craddock? Yeah. And he had done a zombie version of Walter White that looked exactly like Walter White.
Oh, wow.
Like Heisenberg. And at the time, Breaking Bad was just through the roof ratings. Everybody loved it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Another one of those pieces of art that are like break through.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. That's like top shelf straight up.
Yeah.
Other shows have emulated. Like if you look at Ozark.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah.
But, it's no Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that was the benchmark.
Yeah.
And nothing's quite beaten it yet.
No, there's some that get up there, but that one's just seemed to be in the stratosphere above all shows.
Yeah. And it was such a weird concept if you think about it.
I figured out the formula for Breaking Bad.
Oh.
It's MacGyver. It's MacGyver with ice.
MacGyver with ice. Yeah, but MacGyver never had that twist of evil that came.
That's right, yeah. But it's he's always got to solve a problem with science, right? Yeah. It's totally MacGyver spec.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I reckon of Breaking Bad.
I never really thought of it as that formulaic, but if you didn't have that, you think about it, like the first episode, they had to dissolve that bloody body.
Yeah.
They made, that's right, he kept on making, you're bloody right.
Yeah, it's a MacGyver with ice, man. Yeah. Yeah, spin out.
I'm just spinning through the episodes, going, they made that magnet.
Made the battery, and then they had to do the magnet, and they had to come up with
He had to make that. He made the bloody phosphorus thing to get through that door, so they could steal the bloody big thing of acetylene or whatever.
Oh yeah, thermite. It was thermite. Yeah,
right.
So he had to make thermite to cut through the door.
Bloody, it is MacGyver on ice.
And when they stole when they had to steal the precursor again from the train. Yeah. The train robbery one was really good.
Yeah,
that was boss man.
Ending,
Jesse's plan.
That ending was just a gut punch.
Oh, dude. Well, they didn't know how to end it, right? They didn't know how to end it.
Yeah.
Because they were writing it as it's happening, right? Yeah. It was that popular. They're like, get this shit out the door. They're buying this. They didn't have an ending to it.
You know what? I reckon that scene made Jesse Plemons' career. Because he was so noticed. That character was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
That is just pure sociopath.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, the other storyline through Breaking Bad is it's actually a coming of age story in reverse. So if you look at a coming of age in an adulthood sense of way, like so, it's Walter White that eventually turns into Heisenberg. So it's the journey of the normal dude that turns into this evil kingpin. Yeah. And that's that's the contrast of it.
Yeah.
And that's where they hang their anecdotes. Yeah. All those anecdotes. And then all the anecdotes are usually MacGyver.
Right. That's so bizarre. But I love it. You're right.
Yeah. And I'd say if you look, there would be other elements when you look at the relationship with Skylar.
Yeah.
I think if you look at other shows, you'd probably find other elements that have been bolted onto it.
Like no actress has been so hated for a character she played. Skylar, I think.
Yeah, the poor woman. Because she did a great job.
Oh yeah,
she did a killer job at it.
But she got death threats and all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
it was bizarre how far they went.
Yeah, but people are fanatics, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's also in a show that I really respect called Deadwood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
That's
Swearingen, man.
Level. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's another one of those shows that just is in the Andals.
Oh, I used to switch between whether I like Seth Bullock or bloody Al Swearingen more.
Oh, but Al Swearingen's
lines are just.
Oh, dude, one of his lines that really I love is for a place of operations, there's nothing that will beat a fucking saloon.
Yeah. I just love how he would be getting a blowjob while he's just trying to ruminate on a problem and then
is he coming at me? Is he coming at me?
Just bouncing up and down and
Oh. I once went to a hairdresser. They said, "What hairstyle do you want?" I said, "Make me look like Al Swearingen, man." They're like, "What?" I said, "Show me a photo." I said, "This guy,
the coolest guy in the world."
Yeah. Well, the thing I like, that man, the Easter eggs in Deadwood are phenomenal.
Yes.
And they would have kept going. They were going to make the movie. That's what. Yeah. But I figured out something in Deadwood that's fucking crazy. Then if I've blown you away with MacGyver, let me blow you away with Deadwood.
Right. Let me adjust the headphones.
I reckon they deliberately didn't end it.
There's
never going to be. It was a build up to this big fight,
and then
they break the major rule of artistry. They don't deliver. No climax. And I got the proof for it in that show. You would know a character, Johnny, which is Swearingen's number 3.
Yeah.
So,
curly head.
Dopey. A bit dopey, right?
Yeah.
And he tells this story, and he's like, "Yeah, when I was a kid, I had the Jack in the Box, and you turn that wheel, and it would never fucking pop. And you're like, these motherfuckers.
Foreshadowed.
Yeah, you're like, and because if you look through it, the drug use is all hidden in it. Like some of it's very forward, like the heroin use is very forward, but the rest of the drug use is very much in the background.
Yeah.
And it's not what they say; it's what they don't say. It's all about a politeness.
Right.
It's ultra cursing with Victorian Victorian dialect with cursing.
Yeah.
That talks about politeness by saying the thing that you're not saying.
Yeah.
That's how you got to take that show.
The absent moment, the absent word.
Yeah, like they would be in the restaurant, right, and then someone would be like, "No, it's good to see that the lady has walked in this room," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's a bit crowded in here," and then someone will go, "Oh, I better leave." Yeah. So they take the message that's hidden. So beautifully written. The guy got Alzheimer's that wrote that. That's why they say they didn't end it. Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, Ian McShane, he actually did
Lovejoy.
No, well, he did. No, he did. He did a the end of Deadwood.
Oh, okay.
You can buy it. It's out there.
I never knew about that either.
Yeah, Hearst comes back. Well, they're all there, but they're super fucking old.
Right.
Like they're all fucking old as fuck.
Yeah.
And the plot is ridiculous. Like it's not any resemblance of its former self.
Yeah.
It's more of them getting together, having a party, celebrating the old times, and filming it and acting it out. So it's nostalgic, I think, is the word for that. But yeah, man, when you get to the end scenes of that shit, man, they even got the midget there, right? Because they go, we got 17 man and one midget. Well, 17 and a half man, one, why is it half? There's a midget.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but they all eat, but the thing is, they all eat the bacon, right?
Yeah. The rancid bacon.
Yeah, the bacon, because everyone who's a bad guy gets fed to the pigs.
Yeah.
But they all have the bacon for breakfast.
They're all eating them.
They're all eating them.
Aye.
So you're like, there's all these hidden things in.
Yeah.
And it's all things like that. All these subtexts are really gritty, human, unavoidable things. Yeah. Some quite sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all, even in the pictures that they drive that series, the cinematography in it also drives that unspoken message.
Right.
Like when they remember those kids get beat up for being
yeah.
and then
one of them was bloody what's her face?
Famous
went
chick.
on to the good place.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Kristen
someone.
Yeah.
I'll Google it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
that was one of her first roles.
Yeah, she's very young.
Yeah.
Very young. But when I think it's Joni.
Yeah.
She was walking by Woo's place.
Yeah.
And she could see.
Yeah. Was it the bonnet or something?
Yeah, the bonnet.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, that's fucking harsh, man.
They
don't say anything. It's not spoken.
Yeah.
That's my point with that show. It's very unspoken.
Yeah. There's a hell of a lot of casual murder.
It's acceptable. It's socially acceptable murder.
Yeah. But it was just sort of like, no investigation. Just, okay, there's another one. 2 dead behind swearingens. Come on. Come on, Woo.
Yeah.
Day.
Oh, like when Baker Dan, when he changed jackets and he sent him back into the saloon and he got shot. Like, so there was the number 9 saloon, which was Tuttle. I think his name was Tuttle or something like that. Not Tuttle. I can't remember. You know the guy I'm talking about? They'd run the poker place where Hickok got shot.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it's the number 10.
Yeah.
The number 10, whatever they call it. And he sends his mate back in there because he pisses all over the barman.
Right.
And he sends his mate back in wearing his jacket.
Yeah. And
he shot him on sight.
Yeah.
And then Bullock comes in and he investigates. He goes, well, you didn't mean to shoot him.
Yeah.
And you didn't mean to kill him.
Thought it was the other guy.
Thought it was the other guy. And you didn't mean to actually kill him as an accident.
Yeah.
But as he walks out, he turns to them and he goes, you guys are on thin ice. Watch it.
Yeah. Enough of the murders already.
Yeah. They just murdered this dude. They're like, man, don't make me come back here again and talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, no arrest, no nothing. It's just full of heart, and it's the best told story of the gunfight at the OK Corral without the gunfight at the OK fucking Corral. And I hate it. It's the Jack in the Box that won't pop. When you watch it, it's actually placed in a part of the series.
It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
So that has to be used later on, but it doesn't pop.
That's right.
So that is like a reverse MacGuffin where...
Yeah, because all the Chinese... Because you watch the end of it. It all compresses at the end. Yeah. The Chinese show up and they've been armed with guns.
Yeah.
The hired guns show up on horses. Yeah. The cowboys
are... It's all bubbling up.
Yep. The cowboys are arming themselves.
Yep.
Hearst has left town because it's going to be that fucking bad, and he's gone, there's going to be a whole bunch of murder here.
Boiling point.
I'm not going to be here for this murderous fucking scene. And then it ends, and it's supposed to be the movie. It's supposed to go into the movie from there.
The dirty bastards.
Got Alzheimer's, though, and he didn't do it. But I don't believe it. I reckon it was his intent all along, is not to end that fucking show.
That'd be a David Bowie-esque move.
It is. That's what I'm saying. But if you think about the class of that writing, if you think about the class of its production, you go, wouldn't put it past a person like that, actually. Someone who's that eccentric. Yeah. That's an eccentric writer right there. Genius. It's genius, right? Yeah. Because the writing is genius. Yeah. So why wouldn't he do that as his legacy?
I love that.
Because everyone will always, here we are talking about it, like they never ended it. Yeah. It's like, it's almost as bad as Serenity.
Yeah. And if you think about it, the first episode was called A Lie Agreed Upon.
Yeah. That's right.
There you go.
It's full of these deceptions, man, and it's full of these absolute polite moments, candid moments between humanity, you know, with humanity, and the rise of good vibes, you know. Yeah. When the what was his the priest, the second priest.
I was about to say when the Reverend died.
Yeah, the Reverend died, and he, you know, Swearingen killed him. Yeah. And only Swearingen could have killed that priest. Yeah. So he's a bad man. Yeah. He's a bad fucking man, and he's the only one who could have done it. But you're happy that he did, because that guy was in fucking pain, man. Yeah.
That's why people came to love Swearingen's character, because he did the stuff that could, you know, that nobody else could do. Yeah. And he saved it. Like his whole drive was to push that town forward, and because it made him money. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's their nest egg.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, and he loved that town and wanted it nurtured and grown, but in his way.
Yeah, yeah, without interference. Yeah. Without interference with someone dipping into your pocket.
Yeah, he had a vision. He had a vision. And yeah. That's why when they
Well, here's the other unspoken thing about Deadwood. It's really sinister. Tom Noddle is his name.
That's him.
Todd Noddle. I can't go. Yeah, it's because they do it. They do it. Yeah, I can't do it in an Australian accent because they do it in such a.
Tom Noddle.
He goes talking to Swearingen about getting his mate to be the first sheriff.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And during that conversation, he says to him, you know, I was here when we were in tents. Yeah. Right? It's telling about the past, the part that you don't see in Deadwood. And he goes, I was there shooting the Sioux with you. Yeah. Essentially, was his story. Yeah. They went into that region and fucking killed everybody. Yeah. And that's how come they got the town. Yeah. The town was founded on a massacre.
On their massacre.
Yeah. And you don't hear that. Yeah. But it's not polite.
Yeah. It's the undercurrent.
Yeah. It's the undercurrent of it. It's not polite to talk about it. And
but they have that link that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they forged it for themselves, right? And they just saw that as justified. They go, well, if they could have defended it, it would be theirs, wouldn't it?
Of course.
That's the way they looked at it.
Yeah. It's colonialism.
Yeah, totally. This is ours now. Yeah. Yeah. It could have been yours, but you didn't. You didn't defend it.
You didn't have the tech.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But they did for a long time, man. Indians used to whip their ass, man. They really did. They did for a long time.
They had their own warlike tactics that worked up until a point.
The revolver changed everything. It's the revolver that changed it. The Industrial Revolution came along and fucked everything for everyone.
Can't stop it. It is just churning, and it'll just eat you up.
Yeah, the wheels of progress run me over. Yeah. But that's, the only thing that doesn't change is change. And it's ironic, man. I find things like that fascinating. Like, plastic is bad, right? Yeah. But without plastic, you can't have hypodermic needles.
No.
How many hypodermic needles have saved people's lives? So, is plastic a bad thing? No.
Certain plastic is.
Yeah, the management of plastic is bad.
Yeah.
Right? So that's really what it is. It's the management of it. And you go, so we demonise things the wrong way is what I see these days. It's everything is so divided and polarised. It's left and right. It's left and right. And if you read your Art of War, you know that we've been divided at the moment.
Yep.
That's the strategy. Yeah. Whoever's behind that strategy, I don't know. Yeah. But if you look at it from a military-industrial, government, corporate managed entity, and what decisions it would make, that makes sense.
Yes.
It just does.
Exactly.
Forget the conspiracies aside, just from a logical observation of the system, that's what it is. You paid enough. Everyone knows that. You paid enough to remain interested.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Breadcrumbed.
Yeah, it's an equation.
Yeah.
It's an equation they figured out.
Yeah.
That's why they hate inflation. That's why I hate it. It fucks up their equation.
Yeah.
That's what they don't like. Because there's a lot of capital. Do you know what inflation really is? Like, we've all got money.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't have the money.
Yeah.
So
they want it.
They want it.
All of it.
They want all of it. So what they do is put the fucking price up to get it.
Yeah.
That's their equation.
Yeah.
And for us, like...
and it's the stupidest long-term plan.
Yeah. Well, it's not a surviving strategy. No. And I think that we are in a revolution.
Yeah.
For someone that does what I do, I work full-time and I work on a business.
Right.
It's highly time-consuming.
Yep.
If I had kids, probably not possible.
No.
It takes up a lot of time. I have a partner that helps me,
yeah.
And I help her.
Yeah.
We are in business together, and we have been for a long time, and we're nurturing and growing slowly.
Right.
But it's been a targeted, risk-taking adventure.
Yeah.
All right.
You're obviously enjoying it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's about enjoying it, right? And I think it's those experiences that I think even from the festival itself, right?
Yeah.
Getting those voices out there, genuine voices, because we don't say what movie you can make. You go make any movie you want. We don't fucking care. Make a horror, make a documentary.
Thriller.
Yeah. Just make it here.
Yeah.
Just make it here with your friends.
Yeah.
And we'll show it for you. We'll put 300 people in front of it while it's happening.
Yep.
Right. Just doing that, and we're not the only people doing that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that sort of the hippie movement butts against, for lack of a better terminology, butts against the industrial military complex. It's been studied.
Yeah.
This tug of war or this pushing of heads between the industrial complex and the arts movement. Because you think about it, like even Orville Wright, he's an engineer and artist, man.
Yeah.
He's not going, oh man, I'm going to drop bombs off this fucking plane one day. He's not thinking that.
Never ever. Yeah.
It's not even a lexicon for that shit. We want to fly, man. That's the fucking objective.
Mate, even Oppenheimer was absolutely horrified at what he'd created.
Yeah. Oh, there's actually, man. There's a movie coming out. Nolan, man. Nolan looks fucking mad, bro. I can't wait to see that. It looks very good. Very, very good.
Insane.
But it's
a fascinating time in our history, man.
Dude, they didn't even it's in the trailer. It goes, if we push this button, there's a small percentage that everyone's fucked.
It's
right?
Everything.
But it's a very small percentage. It's like there is a percentage.
Yeah. It's a risk I'm willing to take for the rest of the world.
Jesus, man, because it's like it's like when COVID came out, we didn't know how serious it was. Like they didn't know how serious pushing that button was.
It's funny, eh? When COVID came out, I had watched that movie Contagion so many times that I was like, I knew all about the RN and all the, all of these details, and I was like, Jesus, this seems like it's going to get pretty serious. Thank God it didn't. Well, I mean, enough have died, but
they were afraid because they were building something in a lab that they knew that was dangerous.
Yeah.
And once it got out, they're like, we don't know what this thing's going to do. We don't have the data on it, so we've got to jump on it.
Yeah.
And we selected it for its ability to spread. Yeah. So we don't know.
No.
We don't know, so we're going to give this a go. Oh, it's not that bad, actually. Here's a chance to make some money. That's pretty much what happened. In 30 seconds, that's what happened,
Because there was a lot of money made.
Oh, dude.
But unthinkable.
Yeah, but what that's done is created more circulation on top of that. I through COVID, the adversity forced our hand to modify our business into more of a digital space.
Yeah.
And the side effect of doing that is you require you have more tools at your disposal. The more digitized you are, that you can achieve more volume. Right. So if you MailChimp, right, it's an emailing system. Right. You enter the right data into that and create templates across your entire year of correspondence.
Yeah.
You're not actually running it anymore. It just runs.
Off.
To do this previously, you'd need an office of 3 people.
Right. Yeah.
So an office of 3 people only needs someone for 6 hours a week. Does the same thing as 3 people would do over the year.
Insane, isn't
Insanity, because that's 3 ways,
Yeah.
But you think about it, that's as an independent operator, and there's many independent operators out there running their business, and they're using digital
just got technology to replace all of these people.
Emailing systems, communication systems. Any successful business runs on a mad communication system. You got Teams, email. Like email's the old one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the old way of talking.
Yeah.
You know, but email seems to be our legal space, like where we're having legal conversations, or
because there's so many messaging systems out there now that just instantly you'd be able to.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, encryption, Signal, you can get away from it.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like they delete Snapchat, right? Do you trust that? Like,
I'm too old to understand Snapchat.
Well, they got Snapchat, but the photo deletes, right? So you've got it for 5 seconds and it goes away, and they go, they delete it. Like,
I just thought it was for people to send pictures of their dick.
No,
that's all.
I think all of it is.
Yeah.
Think about it.
It's become an entire industry of.
Dude, if the phones in our pockets, are millions of times more powerful than what put man on the moon.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was 11,000 people operating at different terminals.
Yep.
And that's insanity, right?
Yeah. Think of how many people are inside our phone right now.
Oh, dude. You can actually get an app that is an astronomy app that will show you the stars.
Oh, yeah, I've got
that are below you.
Yeah.
So you can look at the sky.
You can look through the earth.
So you literally can X-ray through to the other sky in an augmented.
And there it is.
Yeah, it's in
an
an
augmented reality. Fuck you, Luddites.
Yeah, that's right. But what do we do with it? We take dick pics.
Well, I could say never sent one, never will. I know once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, well, even if it's Snapchat, man, they say they delete it. I don't believe them. I don't believe
them. It's going somewhere.
It's going somewhere. Everything goes somewhere, and data's valuable.
Don't you believe it?
Well, that's it. That's the thing. They say if the app is free, you're the product. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So Facebook, they mine your data and they figure out your political persuasion. That's why all this polarisation's happening, by the way.
They know where to go.
Well, we all got a term for it. We all do it. We're all doom scrollers. Yeah. We love outrage. Yeah.
And that's all they peddle now. Yeah. That's all they peddle.
Outrage.
Outrage and fear. Because that's how you control the population.
Man, I miss the old advertising days because at that time the science showed that everyone loves sex. That's why we're all here.
Yes.
So let's use sex.
They used to bombard us with sex.
Sell everything. Yeah. Sell everything on sex. Like I even remember as a kid watching, and not understanding it at the time, but I look back at it and go, that's quite raunchy.
Yeah.
Was milk ads.
Oh yeah.
I think it was oat milk.
Yeah.
They got this chick and they sprayed the milk all over her tits on the beach. And
because that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens at the beach with oak. Probably get slapped. I'm fucking sticky now. But you watch this stuff and you're like, as a kid, you're like, why are they doing that for? Oh well. I suppose the bikinis are nice, but then you get older, you're like, I think I know what they're talking about there. I saw one where they sat on a milk bottle and it exploded underneath her.
The reverse bukkake.
Yeah. So that was the messaging before.
Yeah.
That's how far they got away with it.
Yeah.
I think it was built.
Have we become Puritans again?
No, I think they've moved us to outrage.
Yeah.
And I think this is my stupid...
Because it sells more.
Well, here's my tinfoil hat fucking theory about it. Aristocrat, really good at getting you to gamble on poker machines, right? So they make them colourful. They follow the whole it's called Bernays, Bernays was the Sigmund Freud's nephew.
Right.
When you get lost in a mall,
this
is Bernays at work, okay? When you do public relations, you know how there's more public relations officers versus journalists now? This is all Bernays. This is his doctrine, how to manipulate and change people's minds through advertising and public relations. Where was I going? I was lost on track. I was talking about Bernays in relation to...
I've lost it.
Where were we going? Shit, bro. What was it? Was it Bernays malls before the malls? Where were we before malls?
Your theory on...
Oh, yes. Aristocrat.
Got
it, right? So Aristocrat would obviously do scientific studies that would go further than Bernays, I would argue. Like, for instance, the casino floors are in shapes of $1 and $2 coins.
Are they now?
Yeah. So when you drop your money, there's an odd... that you can't find it.
And you go,
fuck it. So they vacuum the place.
And they get that all
and they get that as well.
Wow.
So that's how they think, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's not an accident.
No.
That's a deliberate strategy.
That is psychological
warfare. Exactly. So my theory is by these guys doing these kind of studies, they found that... Because when you lose at gambling at a poker machine, outrage is a studied aspect.
Right.
So how do you get someone that's outraged
To
to come back?
Yeah.
So they've studied that.
Yeah.
And I reckon the guys at Aristocrat, because it's all computerised, right? Someone there, or not just Aristocrat, sorry, allegedly, the gambling industry per se.
Yeah.
Now I'm out of it. Good. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just say Aristocrat because it is a large company in Australia.
Yeah.
That's just my natural go-to. That is my disclaimer. Actual image may not match photo. My point is that the studies have gone into that outrage and they've looked at that going, well, we can make them return to do that. So what else can we do with outrage? So then there's studies out there, man, that outrage fires more neurons in your brain than sex does.
Yeah.
Right?
I can believe that.
This is a scientific fact.
Yeah.
You can check it out. Trust me. Don't trust me. Don't believe me. Go check it out.
Google
it. And you'll find that they've studied this in people's brains. And like if you were walking by someone being punched up,
yeah,
there would be part of you that would do one of two things. You would either run away from the situation.
Yep, your fight or flight would kick in.
Or you would assist in this situation. Either which way, it's an outrage response.
Yep.
Those two outrage responses are more powerful than sex. That's why we're in the doom scrolling.
Depends who's sex, really.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
What if it's been a while?
So my theory is that there's data, not just that data alone, but I reckon it's that kind of motivation that got him into this space of, actually, studies show that sex isn't the number one. I'm going to get ahead of my competitors. Yeah. And then they realise, well, if you can collect data on people, then you can certainly assert whether they are a middle voter, Greens voter. Like, you can even go on the ABC and find it yourself. Yeah. You answer a series of 20 questions and they'll go, this is where you sit on the political spectrum. And I'm sure...
Wonderful to be manipulated like this, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
So by the content they're giving us, it's causing certain outrage. And if you want to understand polarisation, I think that's your first point of call. What's the thing that changed? It's the fucking Black Mirror, bro. Yeah. That's the thing that changed. Yeah. Black Mirror is not just a fucking TV show, is my point. It's actually happening. Yeah. But there is people that believe that these communication devices can help us out with sharing information.
Right.
Podcaster on the Grow. When I started doing podcasting, there was 900,000.
How long has it been?
I'm into my 4th year, I think.
Okay.
Season 6.
Yeah.
But I base the seasons off when I upgrade.
Right.
Yeah, so I've upgraded, and sometimes season in the year, if that makes sense, in both years.
So what are podcasts at now?
3 million. So it's this platform that I find, like, if you
Jesus, that's a growth spurt, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 4 years. 4 years, it's tripled. Wow. More than tripled. You can actually figure out your ranking in the world.
Yeah.
I've fluctuated between 50,000.
Yeah.
And 750,000. So that's where I sit. That's my bandwidth. Yeah.
Jesus, that's all right though, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's not
in relative.
In relative terms, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
I think I've actually broken. I think there's 2 episodes that I had that 1 week. I think I got into the 30,000s. Actually, to tell the truth, yeah. But that's usually. Yeah. But to be honest, that's the main.
There's a band.
That's the band, yeah. These are There's ones that would be higher and lower, but they're the solid numbers. But you can look at this stuff. My wife gets upset at me for looking at this stuff. She goes, "You should not identify.
Look at the analytics.
You're not that is not your identity." I'm I'm not doing it for that. Actually, what I'm trying to do is cipher through their bullshit of trying to get me through sponsored post advertising.
Yep.
Because that's their model.
So you're navigating a ship.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the bullshit one. That's the one that's they're inflating that one. They're shadow banning me there for marketing reasons. There's my audience there.
Wow.
And you can see them.
You target it.
Yeah. So I've got about 30 diehard listeners that will listen all the time.
Hello.
Massive fucking shout out.
Hey.
And there's another 100 listeners there that will show up every couple of weeks.
We'll say hi to you too.
Yeah. And there's 1,000 all over the market. So I think that I love you guys. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our trains of thought.
Ramblings,
yeah, definitely
ramblings of crazy men.
And pop cultural references and the artistry that helps us.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me do a throwback here. We're talking about doing costume design, right?
Yeah.
What got you into costume design?
I was in a really dark place back in between about 2005 to 2007. I was just smashing myself to bits, just on a pure self-destructive rage, really.
Yeah.
And I was just going out every night I could. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes into Monday morning because I'd call in sick and be up the Greenwood.
Yeah.
Remember the Greenwood on a Sunday?
Yeah, man.
That just went insane.
Yeah,
but
geez.
I was just, chucking everything I could down my mouth and living for that.
Yeah.
And I was hanging around a bunch of horribly shallow, vacuous people.
Yeah, okay.
And didn't really felt like I fit in with them. And I had an epiphany one night. I was sitting there and we were down at some, I can't remember, maybe it was Home nightclub when that was a thing. And I was looking around at these people and I was just going, I don't like any of you.
What a revelation.
You're just horrible. Like, because they all were fucking each other and like none of them knew about each other or they'd
it was all deceptive and drama driven.
They were just backbiting assholes.
Yeah.
And I got up and I walked out and I never looked back. And I decided, I actually sat down and I thought, well, what do you like doing? Because you don't want to hang out with these people anymore. And I decided that I really love Star Wars because I'd always loved Star Wars as a kid. Yeah. So I thought, I'm going to go and find people who like Star Wars. And it was funny because I went into the city when Lincraft was in the city. And I went up there and I just managed to overhear a couple of people. They were talking about making a costume. And I went over and
this is in the shop?
Yeah, this is in the shop. I just overheard it. And I just bowled over because I talk to anybody. Yeah. And I went, what are you guys talking about? And they were so shy. I can remember, like they were just really nerdy types and they were so shy. And I just drew it out of them and like, we're going to this thing called Supernova.
Okay.
Right, this convention. I was like, what's it like? And they said, it's kind of like a convention for nerds, and and I said, will there be Star Wars there?
Dude. Star Wars. It's pretty much what started the whole thing. Yeah.
I was like, right, I'm gonna go, and I raced home, and I was like, I'm in my 30s. Yeah. And I'm like racing home like a kid, thinking, I'm gonna make a costume. Yeah. And at the time, there was what was a Star Wars game? The Force Unleashed was coming out.
Yeah, okay.
And it was about this character who was the Vader's apprentice. And I studied this costume and I made it and in no time flat, really. And I didn't sleep for 2 days making this damn thing.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and got this thing together and it looked okay for my first attempt. Yeah. And then I went to this convention and I zeroed in on the first bloody stormtrooper I could see. And it became a really good mate of mine. Yeah. He did, yeah. And I met another bloke I met at the time. His name's Tim O'Keefe. Crabman.
Big shout out, bro.
Hey, Crabman.
Yeah, big shout out, bro.
And I ended up being best man at his wedding.
Far out.
Yeah. I got that deep into it.
Oh, man, that's a mad story, man. Yeah. Like, I certainly say that is a total case of surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded.
Yeah. I actively sought it out.
Actively seeking it. Yeah,
and it became one of the best support networks I've ever had. It was...
Yeah, and it just pulled you out straight away.
Yeah. And I just rejected everything else and
moved
on.
I got you on this.
It saved my life. Star Wars saved my life.
Star Wars saved your life, man, yeah.
Because I was on the path to destruction.
Yeah, I think... Personally, I've been on the path to destruction several times. I've given it a few fucking goes.
Oh, you got to have a tussle.
Yeah. I'm like, no, we can fuck this up further. You know.
You don't think I can? Just watch this. Watch this.
Oh, dude. Someone once told me, they go, if you feel powerless when you're fucked up, just ask yourself how many people were affected by your fuck up. Then that's a good start to grow. Well, at least you have that kind of influence. Yeah. So at least you can appreciate that.
Shout out to my mum, who has always stood by me. Yeah. Through it all, man. Like, I'll tell you, I got bipolar disorder, right? I've had it my whole life, basically. I was diagnosed when I was, must have been about 2002. And I fought it my whole life. Just same sort of thing, fighting it backwards and forwards.
Yeah, the war within. Yeah, the absolute war within.
Yeah, I've been living on the streets. I've been, at such stages of my life, and it's all because, you get sacked from jobs because you can't turn up because you just got yourself so fucked up.
Went beyond the pale. Yeah, going beyond the pale. Yeah,
really on that. And then it wasn't until the past 10 years or so that I've actually actively tried to, get control of it and
actually identify it. I think identification is a good thing,
Yeah.
especially in in the pursuit of your identity.
It's hard to become friends with an enemy, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
You got to be forgiving.
Yeah.
You got to have you got to have some humility.
Yeah.
With
Because
yourself.
that's all I saw it as, was this enemy that I had to fight, and I had to change that thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't eliminate it.
Because when you're hating on yourself and that's all you can see, that's such a comfortable place to be sometimes.
Well, you would have heard that analogy, like there's two wolves that are in you.
Yeah.
If you feed the negative wolf, that's the one that's going to win the fight.
Yeah.
Well, what I say to that is,
both mine were negative.
well, what you want to do is train the wolves.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. You want to domesticate them. That's it. You know, you go, well, you can't domesticate that wild wolf, man, but no, you can.
Yeah.
You can. You just got to apply and forgive yourself for failure. Give yourself the right to fail.
Yeah.
I think that's a good start.
It's such a hard thing to come to terms to, but once you do.
Yeah, like, how do you think people got out there and got their shit done, man? Look at comedians, actors, musicians,
some of the
painters.
most tortured people in the world.
Like,
look what they produce.
And look what they produce. Like, and I get that from my mother as well. Like, she was a tortured soul, brilliant artist, absolutely brilliant. She could make cross stitch at the finest grade and make them look like paintings.
Just artistry.
Yeah, but big fuckers too. Like, they'd be worth a mint, right?
Yeah.
And that was what she did. But I know that she got addicted to the drama in order to feed the artist. Yeah. And I think we're of the time where you go, no, man, what I've actually got to do is heal through my art and not have the fear that that's the fuel. Because it's just the spark, not the fuel. It's what started the fire. It's not the fire. You are the fire. It's you, because you thought of it to begin with.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the fuel you burn when you get it out.
Yeah, that's it. And doing heavy metal vocals, it was very therapeutic. Because you're writing content that's about the problems that you're dealing with.
You get to have that aggressive,
physical. It's physical as well. It's physical.
Chuck it out.
It's spiritual. It's cosplay as well, man. It's a character. Yeah. When you're a heavy metal singer, it's a character.
The thing with my characters, I always chose characters that were gruff and unapproachable,
gritty,
and like Dread, and like you don't want to go near him. And I would just, like, people would come up and go, "Can I get a photo with you?" And I'd just,
oh look, Dread would arrest you for being homeless. Man. Yeah, straight up. He would. He did. He did.
Yeah, 10 years in the cube.
Totally, man. Yeah, man. But no, what a journey, man. I think, but everyone has their journey,
Yeah.
Everyone has their journey, and I think the best advice that I can give to somebody like going through, PTSD, a bit of manic depression, that's what they used to call it, right? Manic depression,
that's the old word. Yeah. I don't remember, like.
I think I'm just short fused. I've never been diagnosed. I just get angry at shit I shouldn't get angry at.
Maybe you just got aggression issues.
I do, and I have to always pull it back because especially when my wife's around. Like, I don't want to disrupt her chi. She's had such a hippie chi, man. I don't want to, and sometimes it bleeds over, and I have the Bill Burr syndrome, man. Like it's part of the process.
I know I can, like, that was funny. I know it can be funnier.
That's it. You pushed his boundaries. But you got to look back upon it, like, you got to look upon it. Yeah. I think that's good advice as well when you're dealing with a manic situation within yourself, the war within yourself. Yeah. Don't be stuck within it. Actually zoom out and look upon what it is again.
And that was my issue. I never was able to be objective about it. Now I can just
you can look at it and identify and go, that's what it is, man.
And then I put my hand on it. And, basically, taming the wolf.
Tame the wolf.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're wolves, man. Yeah. They're wild animals. Yeah. They're going to act up too. Yeah. So you got to appreciate that. You're going to have flare-ups, man.
That's it.
You have the flare-ups and just identify it. Apologise where necessary.
Yeah. But my saving grace was medication.
Oh, really?
I couldn't have done it without it.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Because without it, I'm just. If I got a manic episode. And I was unmedicated, I would talk your knickers off. Yeah. And you wouldn't understand. Like, you would suddenly be, like, pregnant. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah. Oh, man, I can relate, man.
Because I get this hyper confidence and, mix that with risky sexual behaviours and, hey, presto, what a fucking combination.
Dude, I can relate. I can relate to that. It got me into some fantastic situations, but it's gotten me into a lot of fucking trouble. I can tell you that.
Into and out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that beast. Fuck, that beast.
It's good to have a clever mouth, but god damn, it's a curse.
Yeah, man. It is, especially when you're quick off the mark, shooting from the hip.
I used to go to the Harlequin, the Harlequin and down in Piermont.
Oh,
to watch the rugby games because, All Blacks all the way. Yeah. And I used to just go down there and give them shit. Like the English are the ones who can't deal with it.
Oh, man, they get touchy, yeah. Aussies do get touchy about the rugby, though. Yeah. They do. They are sensitive.
But they take it in a much better way.
Yeah. They get prickly, though. Yeah. They can get prickly.
I've had it.
Yeah. They can get prickly about it. Like, a lot of footballers in my family, they can get... they get prickly about
Union boys?
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
My nephews go to St. Greg's, man. They all play rugby.
Nice.
They're doing really well. Big shout out to my nephews, actually.
Nephews?
On the fucking rep teams out there, bruh. And my niece, actually, is playing for West Tigers in Open, Open West Tigers.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so hopefully, man, she gets selected one day and gets to go across the line, go to that first grade fucking achievement. Yeah. Hope she does it. Family of athletes, man. It's just one of those things. In the military, I was really wiry. People always pick on me for it, but
rangy dude.
Yeah. I called them my eggs. I had little eggs. Everything was an egg. Yeah. Because I was a little it's just ribs and dick.
Baker's dozen.
Just fucking six pack the lot. You're like, but thin.
Yeah.
And I was such a nerd. I'd be at like a rave with my friends, and I had three of my lady friends I was very good friends with. Yeah. And they go, "Ooh, who's that fucking hot guy over there?" And I turn around and they go, "Oh, it's Ross!" And they tell me this story. And at first I was chuffed. I was like, "That's a mad story to hear about yourself." But then you realise they didn't think I was hot before. Like this is a new thing that they've discovered. They just saw me with my shirt off. But previously to that, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd, So it's interesting how that happens. But I noticed, though, like, it's terrible. Not terrible. It's just a way of life, I guess. Not being available, but more attention than I've ever gotten in my life, which is fucking annoying. Yeah. It's sweet. Some people are sweet. Yeah. They're very sweet about it. So flash the badge. Yeah. And try to maneuver out.
Be a good boy.
Yeah, of course. But that never happened to me when I was younger.
Right.
Yeah, it's only as an older man. Which and I don't.
You know what? I just turned 49.
What's the go? Right? What's the go? You know what I'm saying?
I've turned 49. I don't feel old. I don't know what old is. Like,
what is that?
Is there something you're supposed to feel like? I still feel like I'm in my 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
I get told I look younger. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
You aren't, yeah.
Even if it's a lie.
Yeah. You're looking good, bro.
Well, that's the Maori blood, man.
That's it.
Brown don't frown.
Yeah.
Beige don't age.
Yeah, man. They do it right, man. They age well. It's just one of those genetic things, man. It's just part of it. Same with the Mediterraneans, man. They do it right.
Mate, you like me probably thank whatever gods made it possible for us to have a full head of hair.
Oh, dude. I come across this more often than not these days. Because I can't imagine it. Yeah. I can't imagine it, and especially because I fucking love my hair.
Yeah, me too.
I really love my hair.
I grow it just between us girls. Yeah, mate, I take care of it.
Dude, during COVID, I grew it down to my fucking hips, man. That's how much I love my hair. Yeah. I do the Rachel male cut. That's me. I've got layers. Yeah. I love blow drying my hair.
Isn't that great?
I love getting my nails done. Love a medi-pedi. I love that shit. People bust my balls about it. Hanging out with the missus doing it, man, it's great.
What a great bonding experience.
Yeah, blow drying your hair. Yeah. It's so good. When you've got long hair, it is fucking fantastic.
I used to have it down to here.
Yeah.
All right. Funny story, this.
Yeah.
So, I went to Rutherford High School. Shout out, Rutherford High. Back in the 80s. And when I started there, I was all about Metallica. Mm-hmm. Metallica was the be-all and end-all for me. Yeah. I was just listening to it on repeat. I wanted to be James Hetfield. I was James Hetfield. Fuck that guy. Yeah. I got the guitar in the same shape, and
Yeah, that's mad, bro.
It was crazy. But my school had a rule that you couldn't grow your hair past a
Oh,
certain
that
length.
kind of regimented bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I said, no. I need to grow my hair long because I'm James Hetfield. Right, you cunts aren't going to stop me.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck
And
you, fuck you, and fuck you.
They threatened me with suspension if I grow because it was getting longer. And so I went to they call it one of the teachers' meetings and a council meeting. And I presented my case.
PTA.
Yeah, I presented my case and I said, if girls are allowed to have their hair this long and boys aren't, then that's sexist. And they still voted me down. Yeah. Right? So I started wearing a dress.
Oh, get the fuck out.
I started wearing a dress to school.
Yeah.
And it took them about 3 days. And they said, all right, you're allowed to grow. Yeah.
You can have your hair.
Boys could grow their hair long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take off the dress and grow that hair.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's a boss move, dude.
It was
Fuck
a power
you,
move on my
suspension,
part. I had, at the time, I had no idea. I was just like, yeah, this would be a good idea. I was just manic, man.
Yeah.
This will fuck them. I'll wear a dress.
This will be controversial.
Yeah.
What are they going to say to this?
What are they going to do? They can't stop me. It's part of the uniform.
Yeah. They're going to criticize me for this?
Yeah. They're going to make me stop wearing this and I can grow my hair long.
Yeah, great.
Fuck you guys. And that's it. The rule got changed.
Dude, I have this reoccurring dream, eh? I have this about long hair.
Yeah.
I have this dream, because a big part of my life was the military. When I was a child, I wanted to be in the military. Grew up, 17, I joined.
Yeah.
I was there until my 30s.
Yeah.
I just 6 months shy of my 30s. I was 29, about to turn 30.
Yeah.
And I got out. It's my whole life. My father was in the military. His father was in the military.
Yeah.
My uncle was in the military. My sisters were in the military.
Yeah. What else are you going to do?
Military fucking family. Military, right?
Yeah.
That was my whole family. The only person who wasn't in the military was my mother.
Yeah.
Everyone else was in it.
Yeah.
At some point, or even at the same time.
Everybody served.
Everyone served, yeah, absolutely. And, I got out of my 30s and I joined, because I always was keen on metal.
Yeah.
So when I was in the military, I still was in bands.
Yeah.
But I always had short hair. So I went for the pretty boy metal.
Yeah.
But I was heavy metal, heavy hard rock singer.
Yeah.
Right? Got a bit on the scene in Townsville. Not a hard nut to crack up there, being from Sydney.
Nice.
Yeah. And getting some guys together. I got
That was such a good time, that time, though.
Oh, dude.
Fucking hard rock and heavy metal, that was the heyday.
Oh, dude, being in the army and singing about fucking, being inspired by Mark of Cain.
Yeah.
Because Mark of Cain, they're all ex-military, right? I'm like, that's what I want. I want to be like Mark of Cain with a little dash of Tool,
Yeah.
That's what I want. And that's what I went for, and it was fucking great, man. But when I got to 30, I was out of the military and started a metal band.
Right.
I'm like, I'm growing my fucking hair. And I grew it, and I've grown it since. Grown my beard since.
Yeah.
Always have a beard. But the dream that I have is really bizarre. So now I've given you the context, right? The dream that I have is that I'm in uniform with a ponytail, and I show up to work with all of my old comrades, and they don't accept me. I go, you got a ponytail, you got to cut it off.
That's your secret fear.
And I go, no, but I'm still me.
Yeah.
Still, they go, you can't wear the uniform if you've got long hair.
Because it's disrespectful to
I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
There's a part of you that thinks it.
Yeah. These worlds, they're so foreign to each other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're so foreign and incompatible. Yeah. But I found a way to make it compatible during the fact and after the fact. As a veteran, it's still compatible too. Yeah. But I had this reoccurring dream, man, that my old mates go, no, I don't like your hair.
Yeah.
How weird. But
have any of them got long hair?
Yeah, heaps of people do. Yeah, of course.
So this is you. That's all you.
Oh, dude, it's a prerequisite of a veteran to go what I would describe as granola when you get out.
Right.
It's just full fucking don't cut anything.
Yeah.
Let everything grow. Go nuts. There's that rebellious throwback.
Yeah.
After such regimentality, but I didn't have a lot of that anyway in the military. You know? I didn't start shaving until I was 27.
Right.
Yeah, like I only grew a mo.
Yeah.
I only shaved a mo, but I didn't actually have a beard.
You couldn't grow it.
Yeah, I still can't grow chops.
Yeah. Oh, neither can I.
No,
and that's my Maori blood.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty fucking hairless.
Well, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
Well, I think I learned that.
Chops?
Well, I think I learned that I have first Australian blood, and that's why I can't.
Yeah, that'd be right.
That right. I don't know how true that is yet because I haven't done the test myself. But we've learned a lot about our family history and tracing that back. Yeah. Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Not what you think. Like when you go and dive into your lineage.
Yeah.
It's never what you think.
No.
It's total surprise.
Yeah. Used to crack me up how everybody would think that they, the reincarnation of Marie Antoinette. Or
famous people.
Yeah. I used to be a famous general. Why was nobody a scullery maid?
Yeah.
I was an orphan on the street until I got killed by cholera.
Yeah.
But now things are better.
yeah, totally. Yeah, we figured out the sewage water and the drinking water thing. Yeah. Man, that took a while though to sort that out. Do you know? Here's an interesting thing about this. You want to know something interesting about cholera?
Always.
Okay. Interesting thing about cholera is that what exists in pin drops in maps on Google today is related to cholera.
Is that
drop me a pin? If I go drop me a pin,
yeah.
You'll get a map, and when you look at that map, it will have details of what shops are where, what post offices are where, and it'll have an itemised description of what everything is in that grid.
And this is
derived for cholera. Related to cholera. And this is how they did it. This is what happened. A guy went to a town and realised that everyone at the pub didn't get cholera.
Oh.
Because they didn't drink the town water. They were drinking the beer.
Right.
And because they were drunks, they never drank water.
Right.
They didn't drink it because they're at the pub all the time. So
that is a reason to go to the Red Cow.
Totally. It's the reason to go to the pub. Absolutely. What this guy did was he surveyed the entire town and figured out that the more closest proximity to the town was the more statistics of people that died.
Yeah.
And then there's this anomaly at the pub when no one died.
Of drunks.
Yeah, of drunks that no one died, right?
I love that.
So by plotting these points on the map, he also itemised what these buildings were.
Yeah.
So this is the pub, this is the church. So this is the first survey map.
Right.
And that formula on presenting maps
is
still here today.
Yeah. That is a fascinating journey.
Yeah. But that's how things can change from adversity, you know. And the guy that was actually studying this, his theory was, I've forgotten his name, I should look it up. The guy that studied this, he was arguing that cholera wasn't airborne because the authorities at the time thought cholera was airborne.
Right.
And his argument was, no, it's the water.
Right.
It's the fucking water, bro.
That was his proof.
And they wouldn't listen to him, so he had to come up with a way to prove that it's the water.
That's genius.
And then he surveyed it, and that technology still carries, when you see, Hungry Jacks and, Gomez, right next to each other.
Yeah.
That's the deal. Cholera, bruh. Cholera. Served as well. But the same with plumbing and all that sort of stuff. Do you know that the water that they get out of sewage, or sewerage, so sewage and sewerage, is cleaner than the water they get out of the dam?
That'd be right.
Yeah, they've gotten that good at it.
Yeah.
They do it on the spaceship, man.
Oh, yeah.
They do it up in space, right? So doing it down here, way more efficient.
Yep.
So...
no, we have amazing sewage systems.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right.
I trust it 100%.
Totally. But, people talk about the fluoride, another conspiracy theory, fluoride in the water, chlorine.
Yeah, I got a mate he was heavy on that. Hey, Paddy.
It's all dental stuff, man. People's teeth have improved. Our bone density is better. Actually, is good for you. But is there a percentage where it calcifies your fucking third eye?
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe.
Am I one of those guys? I don't know. I have a vivid imagination. I'm a picture thinker.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
not much we can do about it now.
Yeah, no, that's it. No, mate, we're drinking it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, people from the country, because when you look at their teeth, sometimes they have mineral deposits on their teeth.
Right.
If you ever see someone with a black dot on their tooth, that's a mineral deposit that's gone through their bone system that comes out of the water.
And comes out in the tooth.
Comes out in the tooth, because the body's trying to get rid of it. Yeah, and it places it on the tooth.
Couldn't have placed it in a better place. Just stick it in your bum and out it goes.
Yeah, well, I noticed on someone once before, and they're like, okay, go look that up. He didn't put that there. Yeah. It's like a mole on his tooth. What the fuck's going on, bro?
It's creepy.
Yeah, but it only happens to old people.
Right.
Not old people, sorry. People of the older generation than us.
Right.
Yeah, you don't see it much anymore because
just from the water.
The fluoride in the water. That's why you don't see it anymore. It used to be a very common occurrence. People have black dots on their teeth.
Okay.
But these days people lose their teeth for different reasons. The glass barbecue, for instance. That's a way that they can get rid of teeth real quick.
Yes. Familiar with that.
Smoking the battery acid.
No, I've heard about that.
Yeah. I'm just talking about it for a friend.
That's one to stay away from.
Steep slope, kids. Steep slope. Not for the faint-hearted.
Slippery.
Very, very slippery. Yeah, but fuck, man, I didn't put my fucking watch on. Remember I said I was going to put my watch on? What time have you got?
9:05.
9:05, so we've been here an hour and a half.
About that, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want a toilet break? Do you want a toilet break or do you want to wrap it up?
Oh, I'm going to have to.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. You got to go?
Yeah, got to go back to the abode. And
the abode.
There's a few people there, I think.
Yeah, you've got stuff to do. Yeah. All right, well, we should wrap it up. I think we've almost covered... Yeah, we covered everything, really.
We're going to need a part 2.
Yeah, we're going to need a part 2 for sure. Because
yeah,
we just like can
that was an initial sort of tay-tay. Like
but now you're into it.
The wonderful ballet shall happen soon.
Yeah, but remember the lock-in point when you forgot?
I know.
It just happened, yeah. You just zoned in. You just fucking zoned, and now we're in this space, and then we got to these really honest spaces about ourselves, man. It's fucking great. I love podcasting.
It just needs to be expanded on, I think.
Yeah. You have your first sort of flair in it, and then you realise, oh no, there is this bouncy ball that you got to throw around.
This is just my Costanza trick. Right? This is how I'm getting to come back. I'm going to leave something here. And that is my wish to come back.
Oh man, I was doing a binge of that the other day. I did the when he cracks and he goes, I'm going to just do the opposite. Yeah, opposite day, and he ends up working for the Yankees.
The most fascinating character in the world.
Yeah, but it's actually what's his name, Larry David. Yeah, it's all based on Larry David. Curb Your Enthusiasm sort of stuff, man. Brilliant stuff, man. But very fringe. Not a lot of people are into it.
Long ball, Larry.
Yeah. He's the best. But what an amazing dude, though. You know, all those guys that do that shit are amazing. But I think as well, it comes down to that artist torment, right?
Yep.
But it's getting past it.
Pain that we want to see.
Yeah.
You know,
it's that outrage. Yeah. It's the outrage.
It's the same trigger.
It's the same trigger. We like it. It fires the neurons. It gives us serotonin. It gives us dopamine.
100% I relate to people with flaws. You know, I can't stand Disney stuff or anything.
Flawless.
It's got to think, but I relate to are dark, dangerous, gritty people who are just fucked up inside.
Tormented, torn.
Yeah. That's what I respond to.
Yeah. Like, look, I think it's funny you say that before we go. One of them, the movies I really like is from because I love 90s action movies.
Yeah.
The Last Boy Scout, right? Bruce Willis, right? And Damon Wayans. Yeah. And Damon Wayans says to him in that film, goes, "Let me get this right, Joe. You're avenging the man that fucked your wife, and protecting the man that cost you your career."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yep, that's right."
Yeah.
You know, and that's the anti-hero.
That's integrity.
Yeah, that's it.
In its purest.
Yeah. Even so, he is still the last Boy Scout. And we've resonated with that idea today. Yeah. You know, that time where it was different before the digital revolution. Yeah. You know. And it's great that we're lucky, though. We're lucky.
We're lucky we know that time.
We know the other time.
Well, we were the last ones to know it.
Yeah, but that's the other strange thing, man. If you watch Woodstock, watch documentaries on Woodstock, right, 1960s, this hippie-loving movement, right? Then watch Woodstock 99.
Yeah.
And then it will identify the zeitgeist of 1999. Yeah. It's misogynistic. Yeah. It's violence culture.
It is insane.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah. But what I recommend, get a little bit baked and go between those 2 points.
Yeah.
Watch the 60s stuff.
Yeah.
And then watch the 90s stuff and go, that's that 30 years. Yeah. So they're the generations that raised us.
Yeah.
And that's the tail end of what we were in. You know, the middle and the tail. That's what we produced, right? And after that, it all went digital. Yeah. It all changed. Yeah. So it came up to this party. We were fortunate enough to party like it was 1999, bro.
That's it.
100%
we were.
Well, on that note, thank you so much again for being on the show, man.
Yeah, loved it.
This is great.
Brilliant.
I've definitely got to get you back.
On the Pagey train.
Yeah, totally. And you've been watching the Pagey train. You guys can go check us out on YouTube. That's right. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe. And as well, I know a lot of you guys are moving across to Spotify. While you're there, don't forget to give us a follow. And a big shout out to our new American guests that are on Spotify. Thank you for the hits. And you can also go check us out on iHeartRadio or Apple iTunes. Basically anywhere you can find podcasts. You've been watching the Pagey Train, and we'll see you next time. That was good, man. That was so fun.
That was fucking awesome.
All right, I just got to do some promo stuff before you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got to put a screen behind you.